Hey there, guys, and welcome back to the Travis and Damian podcast, episode 83. We're available on anchor.fm/Travis Damian podcast, along with Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. Today, we're going to be talking about gaming and entertainment news, including everything going on within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Then we'll talk about our recent activities, including Horizon Zero Dawn and a bunch of anime/manga. Lastly, our thoughts on the brand new Batman movie with Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson, and also that deleted scene featuring the Joker. So, first piece of news, we're just going to jump into the Marvel stuff. So, Shawn Levy is set to direct Deadpool 3, which is someone that I did not expect to direct the third entry within Deadpool, especially since because he comes from Stranger Things, and a lot of his directorial work has not been all that great from my understanding. Obviously, like, Stranger Things has popped off and is still one of the biggest Netflix properties out there, despite the hype obviously dying down over the years because of COVID and season 4 being delayed so many times. But I mean, they've had a relationship, a sort of partnership throughout the last couple of years, starting with Free Guy and most recently with Projekt Adam or whatever, which was a Netflix movie that wasn't all that great. But, no. You know, we're just going to have to wait and see exactly what Shawn Levy can bring to the table and how this relationship of theirs can really blossom within Deadpool 3.
Yeah, I mean, like... Yeah, it's going to be interesting, right? Because, obviously, we both love Stranger Things. And I think he did a great job with Stranger Things. And I think it had good humor, and it has a good plot and characters and stuff. But I feel like somebody else... I mean, I didn't watch, like, Free Guy or whatever. I heard it was, like, fine.
Yeah.
But the Adam Project we watched, and that was... that wasn't great. I must feel like the plot in that movie was just, like, all over the place, and the humor wasn't great. But, I don't know, maybe with with Deadpool, maybe he'll have more help and advisors to, like, help him, like, write the character and what they want to do with him. I don't know if he's going to, like, connect fully with the MCU. I mean, yeah, probably, but, like, I don't know how serious it will get in terms of that. But, I don't know. I mean, I hope it turns out good because, like, he has kind of a shaky track record. And, I think those are always, like, the wild card where you don't really know what to expect. But, sometimes people could surprise you with, like, how good they could do stuff. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see with this. Like, we really just need to see the first trailer, right? Because this is going to, like, this Deadpool is going to be entirely new, like, because under Disney, and now it's going to have, like, a bunch of MCU material to work with. So it's definitely going to be, like, a different beast from the first two. And I thought the first two were great. So, especially the first one. So yeah, we're just going to see how this turns out under Disney and, new directors and vision and stuff. So yeah, definitely going to wait for the first trailer.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that now Deadpool is under the MCU sort of umbrella is very interesting. They could definitely make a lot of jokes and a sort of lot of humor with that, which I think can be a lot of fun. I think that Deadpool 3 has the potential of being the best one out of all of them just because of that. I think all of the inside jokes and the sort of humor that they could bring in now that he's part of the MCU can be a lot of fun. But obviously, we're just going to have to wait and see exactly what they decide to do with it because it is under the Disney umbrella. We know that they recently brought over all of the Netflix shows while keeping them all TVMA/rated R. So hopefully Deadpool 3 stays that way because they did try a sort of like PG-13 cut of Deadpool 2 with the sort of like Christmas special, whatever. And I saw that in theaters because I was just like, screw it, why not? Let's see how this really shapes up. Other than the few couple of brand new scenes, there was a lot of things that they obviously censored and sort of kept out from the original Deadpool 2, which I could notice just because I know that there's a rated R version of it, but I think a PG-13 Deadpool can't work in my opinion. I think that you really have to keep this character rated R, especially since because the first movie did so well as a rated R film. I feel like changing that up within the third film can do a lot of things badly, if I can say that.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before, but I think the problem with like a PG-13 Deadpool or more kid-friendly Deadpool is he goes into like the too random, like holds up spork like type of humor that we see in like some other things. Like I think him being rated R, you could just do more creative jokes and it could just be funnier instead of being like, oh, enchilada, haha, funny, and like he does random stuff, Like I just, for me, that Deadpool doesn't really work and it's just not like good. So going R is like definitely the way to go with Deadpool, especially because the first two movies just show how funny and good it could be when he just goes crazy with it. So hoping to keep that same direction and tone. Just with all the extra resources that they could get from Disney and just the MCU. Like, you have so many more jokes you could do. I mean, I highly doubt they're going to make anything too bad looking for the other heroes. They probably don't be like, because it's still like Disney and stuff. But yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. When I see that first trailer, it's definitely gonna set the tone for how I feel about this movie and like whether I should be excited or not. Because I'm still kind of like cautious about it.
Yeah, understandable.
All right. So next up, there's we got a lot of Marvel news here. So Miss Marvel got its trailer. Is obviously gonna be a Disney Plus show. We already knew that. But the big thing about this is like her power is like definitely like very different from what it usually is. Mm-hmm. So usually she has like stretchy powers, right? Like she has like she could like like stretch and shit. Mm-hmm. But in this trailer, it looks like she has like a more like Green Lantern looking thing going on. Like she could like summon like shields, and in one scene she looks like she's doing like more of her classic power, but it's with like this light ring bracelet thing. So yeah, it's definitely a different take on her power, which I don't think is gonna be a big deal for a lot of people because a lot of people don't even know who she really is anyway. So sort of like retconning her power to like this probably shouldn't be that big a deal for a lot of people. It's just kind of a little interesting thing, probably because I think they're rebooting Fantastic Four again, right? And they probably don't want to be like, okay, we have two like stretchy like women, like we like maybe we should make one a little different. So they decided to change up her power and stuff. But besides that, it kind of looks like what I was like expecting. Like she's a younger superhero. She's going through all her teenage stuff and school stuff, but also being a superhero. It's kind of what I expected this show to be like, maybe a little more lighthearted, a little more like stuff like that, more coming of age story and stuff. So kind of looking like what I thought this would look like. And I'm pretty excited for it. She's already like a big fanboy of the Avengers and stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see, how the Marvel heroes that we all know like influence the people in this universe and stuff, and how she could be her own hero and stuff. So yeah, definitely looks like it could be fun.
Yeah, I mean, as a person that has read the first initial run of her comic a couple years ago, I literally picked it up at my local library because I was just hanging out there and I was just like, I need something to read. So I picked up that volume and I read it and I really enjoyed it. It took me maybe a year or two after that to really pick up all of the other 5 volumes or something like that and read the full first run of this character. And I really enjoyed it. And a lot of people are honestly upset at the way that they changed their power, which like I was very surprised too. Obviously, as a person that has read the comics, seeing the way that they changed her powers from being a stretchy woman to being this sort of like, I guess like space sort of like Green Lantern sort of power as you described it, Damian.
Yeah.
And it's very weird in my opinion. I don't know why they would change it. Like you said, they probably don't want people mixing her power up with Mr. Fantastic when that movie eventually does come out. But I think even then, I don't think that that's really a strong enough reason to really change her powers. And on top of that, I think that they added some other things to her powers as well, like the shield and sort of like her stepping on those like cosmic rocks. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like this is not the Miss Marvel that I know personally, but obviously like MCU, they have always done things differently. They've always changed things up to make it different and a lot more interesting. I mean, like I love Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is my favorite Iron Man movie, and they literally did a whole makeover of what's his name? The goddamn villain of that movie. And I honestly really enjoyed that. And they've changed other things within the MCU that I can't really bring up on the top of my head. But, they've changed stuff in the past. And, people are bringing up on how, like, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, he had organic web shooters or whatever. And, like, that's not that big of a deal, in my opinion. Obviously, like, that character is just so old at this point. It's going to be almost 20 years old soon. So it's kind of hard to compare that Spider-Man to this brand new version of Miss Marvel, especially since this is like the first really big adaptation of the character. She was introduced within the Avengers Square Enix game, but this is going to be like the first time mainstream audiences are going to see this character. And I'm a little concerned by the way that they're taking this approach. Obviously, like, a lot of what the original comic had to do with her being like Muslim and her being like an actual like brown kid, like that was a big part of her story. And it feels like that within this first trailer anyways, like that, like they're not going to deal with that sort of like racism stuff. Maybe it's because of Disney or whatever it is, but I think that should have been a much more key central part of the show, because people on Twitter, and I agree with their points of being like, the reason why her powers were stretchy and the reason why she had that kind of power was because she felt out of place and she felt left out. And, with that kid making fun of her, wearing that Marvel shirt or like that superhero shirt, I'm like, come on, like there's obviously like ways to adapt things, but that way of just like sort of changing it all together, where it's like, sort of like making fun of her for who she is and her skin of color, to making it what she's interested in, which is sort of like, I think someone brought it up on Twitter that, it's like sort of like an 80s sort of trope. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of fucking stupid. But obviously, like, I was very, very excited when they announced the show and when we saw the set photos for it, just because it looked very faithful and sort of like what they were trying to do to make it look like the original sort of adaptation, or the original comic, the original version that I saw of this character. And I'm still looking forward to it. It's just that I'm a little concerned as to what's going to happen with this character within the context of the MCU, because they're changing a lot of stuff for her and they're sort of changing how the story also plays out. But obviously, like, it can't all work out in the end. I just feel like that the original source material was a lot stronger. Obviously, it's been years since I've read the original comic, so maybe some of the things I literally just said are wrong, but I feel like that a lot of what the original character that I really gravitated towards and what I really loved is sort of missing from this adaptation of the character. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. I'm not exactly sure what else I could really say, but I'm still looking forward to it. But I'm very, very cautious of how this show is going to play out. Obviously, like, I love fucking coming of age stories. I love sort of slice of life sort of medias and, shows, anime, whatever. And this show obviously looks right up my alley. And I'm definitely going to be watching it when it comes out on June 8th. But, obviously just a little concerned with it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that they don't go more with the whole, like, I guess, like, racism thing, because they did it with Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, they were, like, pretty they did go for that in that one. So it kind of weird they didn't, like, kind of go for it in this one, at least from just the trailers and stuff. Like, just going with the whole, like, oh yeah, you're like a nerd, like, let's laugh at you type thing. Yeah, so that seems a little weird. Like, maybe they could have, like, gone for that angle, but I don't know. I guess they are just changing it, like, a lot. And like you said, as someone that doesn't know anything or that much about Miss Marvel besides what I know from, like, the Avengers game, I personally, like, I'm just gonna wait until I see this adaptation of it. And hopefully to do it well, because I know the fans of the comics are really like this character and stuff, so it'd be cool to see her get a faithful, but not faithful, but like a good adaptation here in the MCU, because I know not everyone's a fan of how they adapt certain characters and stuff, but for me personally, I've been okay with everything. I mean, I guess the biggest one I could say is, like, Spider-Man, right? Because that's the one I have the most attachment. Like, I like the way the MCU did Spider-Man. I know, and again, some people don't, but I personally, like, I've always, like, really kind of trusted, like, what they're doing with them, especially with Tom Holland having, like, his whole arc and stuff, and all that stuff paid off that people were complaining about with the Iron Man Jr. and stuff. So hopefully this will also, like, sort of, like, have a good payoff, or just have this character evolve over the next phases and stuff. So yeah, I'm personally looking forward to it. But yeah, I can understand the caution that some people have, especially if you were into that original source material.
Yeah, because when I saw her having glowing hands, I was like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, I do hope they don't make it like really OP or anything for no reason. Like, she's just like, oh, I have, like, space powers, because I think that's my problem with, like, a lot of heroes that are, like, way too strong. Like Captain Marvel, I think, is, like, way too strong. I mean, that's why I also don't like Superman, because I think Superman is also, like, way too strong, where he's just, like, not fun to, like, follow. So hopefully she doesn't follow that same, like, super OP, like, trap, but I guess we'll see. I think Scarlet Witch does it the best, because she has, like, issues. So, but she's also OP, but she has, like problems. So.
Yeah, she has, like, human issues.
Yeah, so I think that's what makes her fun to, like, follow. But
yeah. Something that people can relate to. But just very quickly, just them using Spider-Man's first 3 movies as, like, his origin story because of how they brought him into the MCU, and it was very sloppy. And by the end of No Way Home, we're able to get back to Peter Parker from from what people know. Not to spoil it, but a much more resembling Peter Parker that people like from the comics and shit like that. But one thing that I can say about this trailer is that I hope that they keep the sort of, like, I guess, like, comic book aesthetic that they got going on here, with, like, the sort of, like, 100 emojis and, like, all of this, like, other shit that's going on within, like, the characters. It reminds me of Scott Pilgrim. I think someone said it in the comment section of this video. I hope that they keep that within the show itself, because I think that that'll make it stand out visually a lot. And also using The Weeknd's Blinding Lights. I fucking love The Weeknd, so them using that song for this trailer, very, very fitting. But yeah, I'm very cautious about this adaptation, but I'm still looking forward to it when it comes out June 8th. So just a few months away, and hopefully that it lands on its feet, because a lot of these Marvel shows have not been able to land on their feet, unfortunately. But yeah. Okay,
All right.
so next bit of news, obviously, this is mine. Daredevil, Disney Plus reboot. It is reportedly in the works. So, I actually just started rewatching Daredevil on Disney Plus because I was like, fuck it, why not? And also I want to show my girlfriend it. So I was like, yeah, we're gonna fucking watch this show. So obviously, I forgot a lot of the violence that happens in this show, like some of some of the kills and some of the deaths. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about that. Obviously, like one of like the more iconic ones with the car door. I think everyone remembers that one.
Like I don't even watch it. I know about it.
Yeah, like everyone remembers that, but some of the other ones I was like, oh shit. So yeah, reportedly they're gonna make a Daredevil season 4, which honestly, if you asked me a couple years ago if that was gonna happen, I would have said fuck no, just because it got canceled and it seemed like Marvel didn't really want to acknowledge these characters. But now that they're officially brought into the MCU with Hawkeye and Spider-Man No Way Home, I'm very interested to see on what they decide to do for this character and if those Netflix shows mean anything, you know, because one thing that I think would benefit this season 4 of Daredevil a lot was if there was some sort of time jump, or if they sort of explain things in a way that makes sense to Netflix audiences, but also bring in new people that have never watched the Netflix shows, you know? Obviously, like, this is a very sort of like slippery slope because people love the Netflix version of Daredevil, including myself, just because the way that they adapted that character and the way that they sort of intertwined it in its own like little bubble of like the Defender sort of thing was very, very good. And by the end of season 3, I was very much looking forward to possibly more. So maybe they'll pick up from where they left out there, or maybe they'll do a soft reboot or whatever they decide to do. I just cannot wait to see more of Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, because he literally is Daredevil, like 100%. Like there's no one else that I can really see take on this character today, and I cannot wait to see what Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios have in store, just because Daredevil is such a cool fucking character, and I'm very, very sad to see that there's not as many people interested in and as hyped for, you know, when he showed up in Spider-Man No Way Home. But, you know, hopefully that with this new sort of reboot, it is able to bring more people in, and maybe they'll go back and watch the old Netflix series. But that's my little ramble on Daredevil.
I basically just really have to watch it. I get it. Like, you and my brother like are like constantly like, you have to watch it. I'm like, okay, I need to watch it. Dude, like when he showed up in No Way Home, my brother's just like, yo. Like, so yeah, I mean, I could tell, like, you know, and he is like a good, like, you know, from what I could tell, like a good Daredevil and stuff. So I really did need to like watch it myself. But yeah, I guess like them wanting to integrate him more to the MCU, you know, we've seen him and another person. I mean, I won't say it, but, you know, in Hawkeye there was another person. So they clearly want to like have him more in the MCU, which, you know, he's a perfect fit and stuff. And I think he would be cool in like a future Spider-Man thing as well, since, you know, New York. So like it will make sense why he would be there. I just hope that, you know, if they do like a reboot and stuff, it doesn't like mess anything up. So like I don't know like how they would really go about it. Like I don't know if they would just totally discard everything from the Netflix stuff, because if they do want to like lower the age rating, right? Like they don't want like little Timmy watching like, yeah, someone's hanging crush on the car door. So they might just do like a thing where he's like, oh, I did this and stuff, and then like he's like, you don't need to watch it, don't worry if you don't want to. So and that's kind of what I think they might do with it. But yeah, I just hope fans, again, this is like a big thing right now, I hope the fans are happy with whatever they put out and it doesn't like alienate them too much. Because, you know, I it's really like, it has to suck to be like, I love this version of Daredevil, he's back, we got everyone back, and then they make a new like season or reboot and it feels different, like it's not even the same, even though everyone else is like the same. So yeah, that must like really suck because you're like so close to greatness. So yeah, but I believe in it. I think I think they could do it. Like I think we're really starting to see Disney really dip their toes, and hopefully more R-rated stuff or like more mature stuff. You know, the MCU has some dark moments, but it never had anything that's like rated R. So hopefully with Deadpool 3 and like this Daredevil reboot, like they're able to like kind of push the age rating a little more. Like, yeah, it's like some heroes are gonna be more violent and just like more dark because that's just how they are. And like, you know, just because it's Marvel doesn't mean it has to be like a rated PG-13 thing, you know? Like I think it's fine to go for a more mature thing if it like fits the character. So hopefully they don't like pussy out on it and like just go all in, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think Charlie Cox said it at one of the many panels that he attended, but he was like, I think he said something along the lines of a PG-13 Daredevil can work. Obviously, like the rated R stuff is sort of like I guess like synonymous with this character at this point. You know, like when people think of Daredevil and they watch the Netflix show, they probably think of the amount of violence, the amount of blood and shit like that happens within that show, because it does play a role in the story and context of this character. So, you know, them maybe pulling it back a little bit, maybe doing a PG-13, or screw it, you know, just go full in with the rated R and do another TVMA season of Daredevil. I think that can work as well, but we're just going to have to wait and see.
So Marvel, our next piece of news here is, again, more Marvel. Marvel's developing a Nova project. So, apparently it's one of the writers from Moon Knight that are getting him to write this new show. I don't really like that. All it says is that he wrote like Moon Knight, or he helped write with Moon Knight, I should say. And you know, that hasn't come out yet, so I don't really know how that's going to turn out. As of right now, we don't know if this is going to be a Disney Plus thing or a movie. I'm assuming it's going to be a Disney Plus thing at this point, since so many of the new heroes are getting put onto Disney Plus, which is fine. But yeah, again, we don't really know how good Moon Knight is going to be. From the trailers, it looks pretty cool. But again, we have no idea until it comes out March 30th. And, you know, apparently they have a lot of confidence in him that he's just like, okay, you're doing the next hero now. So yeah, that I don't know if that's like indicated of how good Moon Knight's gonna be or what, but you know, that's a lot of, you know, trust to put into a dude who just like, you know, started writing for like the first like, you know, show here. So I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. I don't really know much about Nova either. All I really know is he's always in like the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games and stuff, and like he's like space powers and stuff. So that's kind of cool, I guess. But again, I don't really know about him. But that's usually how I like to have these Marvel things, like all these heroes I don't really know about getting like into the spotlight, and I can see all their cool powers and villains and stuff. So yeah, so you know, hopefully Moon Knight's good, and then I could like see how hype I could be for this show or movie, wherever it's gonna be. But yeah, as you can see, like Marvel is definitely like, you know, moving forward like really hard right now. Like they're pumping out shows and movies like crazy. Yeah, I think even faster than they ever did in like some of the earlier phases, just because Disney Plus is a thing. They're able to just pump out these things. And you know, I know some people aren't a big fan of the Disney Plus shows. I mean, I think they're fine. Like, I mean, I personally have not mind them like at all. Like I think they're fine. But you know, I'd rather have these shows rather than like try to get my ass to see like Thor: The Dark World or something, and then like even then I don't think any of the shows have been bad as that. So like I don't know, I've definitely been a little more not as critical about the shows as some other people, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Moon Knight, and I guess we'll see how that show's writing is, so we can get, you know, excited for this show.
Yeah, I mean, a Nova project sounds very cool, because I know that there's a lot of people that like Nova. I only know Nova from the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon show, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I did genuinely give that show a shot, and that shit was just terrible. But Nova as a character is like pretty cool, and it looks like it'll be a Disney Plus show. We don't know just yet, but the guy that they got on, Sabir Pizzada, hopefully I pronounced that right, he wrote episode 3 and 4 of Moon Knight, so hopefully those episodes are bangers, because if they are, then that will be a indication of what might to come for Nova. But yeah, I mean, with the whole like Disney Plus shows versus the movies, obviously like with the current time still, you know, COVID is still a goddamn thing. So people are still cautious and worried about going out and seeing a movie. But especially with these lesser known heroes and these lesser known projects, I think it's appropriate to put them on, you know, Disney Plus. Like, who would have seen WandaVision if it was like a movie, right, sort of thing? And also, right, like with the shows themselves, they're able to flesh out characters more with eight episodes, you know, and that's sort of like almost 8 hours worth of content. You know, some shows could use 13. Hawkeye is definitely one of them that could have used 13, and maybe some of the other shows that I can't remember on the top of my head right now. But you know, the other Marvel shows have definitely benefited from being 8 episodes instead of like a 2 to 3 hour movie. So yeah, you know, I think that with the whole Disney Plus thing that's going on right now, and also because it is Disney, that they're able to just pump out money and pump out these shows and these new projects and these new characters so fast and so quickly, that, you know, when we do get to the next Avengers movie, the first one after Endgame, it's going to be pretty big with the amount of people in it and whatever type of story that they want to tell from the comics. You know, we're just going to have to wait and see, because, you know, Thanos was obviously like a pretty big character. So I wonder what they're going to do next for a sort of Avengers like movie. But, you know, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Obviously, Nova is kind of exciting, and I wonder how well it'll do, especially because of them bringing on a Moon Knight writer that, the show hasn't even been out yet, but they have a lot of trust and faith in him. So hopefully it does well.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm thinking like they might just do like Galactus or something, right? Because like with Miss Marvel's whole thing looks a lot like more spacey now. Like it's like a lot of space stuff, and Nova's like a space type hero. I wonder if they're just gonna do like Galactus or something next. Like, I feel like that's like the biggest thing you could go, literally. So I wonder if they are gonna go for that. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty interesting to see with whatever the next phases are. There's definitely like a build up phase than anything. We're building up new heroes and stuff, and to see like wherever the next new Avengers movie is gonna be. Because like you said, it's gonna be a pretty crazy Avengers movie because of how many new heroes we have. So yeah.
All right, so next bit of news we got here is The Last of Us TV show. There were set leaks that feature Sam and Henry. And if you played The Last of Us, you know that those are pretty two big characters for the arc of Joel and Ellie, to sort of run into them and sort of meet them and sort of see them as like a parallel to themselves. So we don't know who these actors are in terms of who's playing Sam and Henry, but we can see the costumes firsthand of Joel and Ellie, and my God, I mean, just like by the look of the show, it looks very, very faithful to the games. And obviously it's not that hard to really recreate The Last of Us into like a movie or a TV show, just because it is so grounded within reality. So I cannot wait to see what the show actually comes up with, because this is a HBO series, so they're probably going to do whatever they really want for a TV show. And with Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, or what's her name? It's going to be very, very fun to see how these characters are portrayed by those two actors, especially since, people love Joel and Ellie. And even after The Last of Us Part 2, people love those characters and they want more of them. And even if this is a retelling of the first game, which I think is a pretty good start to sort of just retell that story, and maybe afterwards, maybe in like a season 2, we can explore some other stuff and maybe some other shenanigans that the duo came up with. But I think a lot of Joel and Ellie's story was really told within both games. It's just that within Part 2, it was told within the form of flashbacks, and you were able to piece it together by the end of Ellie's story. But yeah, very, very excited to hopefully one of these days see a goddamn trailer for the show, because these set leaks, these photos, it's only doing so much. But once we see these characters in action and these actors really take on those characters in a actual trailer, it's going to be very, very cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think the casting is like good, because I know the problem with the Uncharted movie. Like, I know you had a lot of issues with the casting in that one. So I think the casting in this show looks a lot better. Like, I could like picture like these characters as these actors and stuff. But again, we're gonna have to wait for a trailer, because this show has been like everywhere for a while, like just with set leaks and like the casting things they've been showing. But no trailer yet, and I don't really know when we're gonna get one. But hopefully soon, because with the Uncharted movie coming out, I don't think a lot of people were like that thrilled about it. So I feel like Sony's like, okay, we gotta make this one good. So I know Sony isn't really like making it, like HBO and stuff, but I definitely think it has the chops to be like a big HBO show, since HBO usually has like some good shit, and like I'm pretty sure Last of Us like fits. I've said this before, but I think Last of Us definitely fits that HBO like thing, and honestly just like a good zombie show, because the first few seasons of Walking Dead were like really good, right? But then it like kind of became shit. But I could go for another zombie show. Obviously I would want to play the game first and then like compare it if I do end up watching the show. But I think people are in the mood for another good zombie show, since we don't really have one. And honestly, zombies have. I know Last of Us isn't all about the zombie stuff, but I feel like that's how they're probably going to advertise it with the clickers and stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how to go around with that, and like just how they will like evolve this series, like if they do Last of Us Part 2 or however what else they do. I don't know if season 1 is just gonna be all Last of Us season 1. I'm sorry, Last of Us 1. I highly doubt it. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like a multi-season thing just for the first game. But I guess we'll see, because I don't know if you could adapt all of that in like a one season thing. Well, I'm feeling Rush anyway. Yeah,
I mean, the casting choice is very, very good. I mean, Tom Holland and what's his name?
Mark Wahlberg.
I cannot see them as Jake and Sully. Like, it is very, very hard, just because those two actors are like blockbuster sort of selling actors. Obviously, when it comes to Pedro Pascal, like if you're in the know with Star Wars, obviously like that's the Mandalorian. But at the same time, when you see him put on the Joel outfit, that's Joel. obviously. So, but I just can't wait to see a trailer for this show because after part 2, which I didn't hate completely, but I did have my issues with it. I just cannot wait to enjoy the Last of Us stuff again, just because this show it looks like it's going to be a very, very good adaptation of it. So
all right, so next up, CD Projekt Red, they're announcing a new Witcher game with just like a picture. So like, here it is. So we're making a new Witcher game. It is going to be made in Unreal 5, which is cool. To kind of just abandon their own engine, which a lot of people are doing nowadays, which is fair. Unreal is a really good engine. It just works, not like everyone else's engines that always are buggy as hell. But this is quite surprised because CD Projekt Red, they released Cyberpunk like 2 years ago or 3, I think now. I can't remember. It's actually been a while now. And that game kind of shat the bed, right? Like a lot of people weren't very happy with it. It was very buggy, didn't really deliver on a lot of its things. I mean, I personally enjoyed it, but I also had like no hype for it. I kind of just bought it because I was like, well, let's see what all the fuss is about. And then I played it. I'm like, it was all right. I liked it. So now that they're making Witcher 5 or Witcher 4, sorry. Or that's what I guess we're assuming is going to be called. They really have to prove themselves because, Cyberpunk was kind of a disaster. They're fixing it now, and I think there's supposed to be DLC for that game still, but they haven't really said anything about that. They've kind of just been fixing that game. So for them to announce another huge RPG like Witcher, I think they really got to prove themselves. I think CD Projekt Red really has to just be like, okay, we're just going to deliver a good just RPG, Western RPG, with some good quests, some good world building or whatever, and that's it. Like, don't promise the world like you did with Cyberpunk, because I think that was their real issue with it. Cyberpunk, they were promising like, oh, it's gonna be like GTA, there's gonna be like a million things you could do, and then ended up, nothing ended up being true. So hopefully, Witcher, they keep their expectations, a little more realistic on what they could do. I think people just want another Witcher 3, but just a little bit bigger in scope, and hopefully that's what they aim for, because Cyberpunk was definitely something more than, a bit more than it could chew in that case. Hopefully this game can end up good, because, I actually did end up liking Cyberpunk. There's some good ideas in there, and I actually have not played Witcher 3 yet, but, obviously I heard nothing but good things about that game, so hopefully CD Projekt Red could, get back on their feet with this game. And it seems like they actually are, in a partnership with Epic, so if you want to get this game on PC, it's probably going to be stuck in the Epic Game Store. They probably won't be doing some people some favors, but that's just kind of how it is. So yeah, hopefully the game will run better, because I know Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk had a shit ton of bugs just due to their engines. So yeah, hopefully this new engine makes it more stable and stuff. But yeah, CD Projekt Red has a lot to prove with this game after Cyberpunk, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think that a lot of people's trust within them is sort of gone or slowly falling off. So if they mess up with this next Witcher game, it's gonna be really, really big yikes for them. I will say that. So hopefully that they'll be able to make a Witcher game that runs well on the Unreal Engine, just because, their own engine that they've been using for the past 2 games, Cyberpunk and Witcher 3, there have been bugs and, it hasn't been ran the smoothest. So hopefully with this new engine and sort of using an engine that, just works, will hopefully allow them to actually create a game that they really, really want to make without as many bugs and as many glitches. And, hopefully that they'll just take their time with it, guys. There's no reason to really pump it out, especially because this game is probably going to be on PC and just on PS5 and Xbox Series X. There's no reason to make it on PS4/Xbox One unless they really want to, but I don't think that's
I really hope they don't.
Yeah.
I feel like with Cyberpunk, I know they're using Unreal 5 now, so they probably could do that. But with Cyberpunk, the last gen game, the PS4 and Xbox One versions were complete garbage. Like, it just did not even work, and they still really don't. It was only the next gen versions that really works well, and the PC version was it ran okay. So hopefully they just abandon that idea, just move on to the next generation. I know cross platform is kind of hot right now just because the adoption rate of the PS4 and Xbox One were really high. But I feel like at this point it's time to move on. If games are going to run like shit, or if they're going to run like garbage on those older consoles, I just don't think it's worth it, as we saw with Cyberpunk. So I kind of hope to just kind of move on with that, especially because I don't think this game's going to come out for at least 2 years, right? If it comes out next year, that'd be kind of an issue. I really doubt that. But yeah, I feel like this game is still a ways off. So yeah, I guess we're going to have to see for that. And it's kind of weird that a lot of companies are just kind of putting out here's what we're doing. There's no real big bombastic thing anymore. It's just here's just a picture of our next game. Okay, bye. And that's honestly probably because they have been losing a lot of talent over the last few years, especially with, we'll talk about it a little later, but, either from like harassment cases or just burnout and crunch, that a lot of like senior developers have just been leaving en masse. Blizzard has seen that, Naughty Dog has seen that, Rockstar has seen that. So that's probably why we've been seeing a lot of game companies just be like, hey, we're doing the thing. If you want to like help us make it, then you could do that by doing the thing. So yeah, I've been seeing that a lot lately with a lot of these bigger studios, and which is good. I think a big work reform or them like really being like, okay, we shouldn't treat our like developers like shit because we're losing like good talent. I think that's a good sign that hopefully the industry will change and people will get treated better, because Cyberpunk has went through a lot of crunch just to make I'm sorry, CD Projekt Red went through a lot of crunch just to make Cyberpunk. So hopefully to get the message now that they should treat their employees good if they want to make a good game. I think that's pretty obvious at this point. So yeah, hopefully this new Witcher game is made in under better conditions and everyone could just be excited for it. So yeah, that's kind of all I gotta say with that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think the only like big studio that hasn't really been outed for crunching is Nintendo, because they've been very like vocal, being like, hey, like if we gotta delay the game, we'll just fucking delay it. I mean, like, they literally scrapped all of Metroid Prime 4 because they were like, this is not it.
Yeah.
And we don't know what they came up with, but they looked at it and they were like, this shit is not Metroid. So
this shit, dog.
They literally just threw it out and then brought in Retro Studios, and they're still creating that game. And hopefully when it does get revealed, it'll probably come out that same year or within that year after it gets fully shown, because obviously it's been years since we saw Metroid Prime 4. But going back to Witcher and Cyberpunk and everything about CD Projekt Red, they just have to take their time, no rush, because if they mess up this one, the studio will probably no longer be trusted by the game community as a whole. Obviously, like, there's going to be people that are still going to be like, well, if they mess this one up, I'll give them one more chance, sort of thing, But in my opinion, in my eyes, I think that if they mess up one more time and it's as big of a problem as Cyberpunk 2077 was, where literally everyone was on Twitter posting their clips of funny shit that was going on within the game, it's going to be real bad. So, yeah, hopefully that this next Witcher game, we don't see it like officially within the next year or two. And when we see it by then, it looks functional. And yeah, even then, when it comes out, it is functional, Yeah,
it definitely has to be like no bugs and stuff. It has to run well. They really have a lot to prove with this game. And, Witcher is also a beloved series. So if they fuck this up, then yeah, I think they're just done. At least Cyberpunk was like a new IP, so they could just be like, okay, that was kind of a mistake. But I feel like with Witcher, they really do hit it. Especially because 3 was so like acclaimed. So yeah, I mean, I think that's like most, like, a lot of AAA games that aren't made by like, Sony and Nintendo usually end up being a little janky now. I think like FromSoft, the people that make Dark Souls and stuff, like, are, they're pretty okay. And some other people, but for the most part, yeah, it was mostly just Sony and Nintendo really polishing their games before they come out. So hopefully CD Projekt Red is able to do that with this game. Yeah,
but Sony, unfortunately, they do crunch, as we saw with Naughty Dog. So, unlucky. But moving on from there, our next bit of news is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has been delayed to next year in the spring. So yeah, 2023 spring, Rockstar Studios has decided to delay Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League once again. It sucks, especially because we have not seen them create a brand new game after Arkham Knight. And, Arkham Knight as the sort of last game within the Batman series, I didn't think that it ended as strong. I honestly think that the story especially was not that great. The Arkham Knight was very predictable. Like, if you know anything about Batman, and when you see the Arkham Knight's backstory, you're like, who this fucking character is. And also with the gameplay, with the whole sort of Batmobile and the tank, people wanted that, but the way that they did it was just not to my liking, in my opinion. But hopefully that this game is able to deliver. Obviously, delaying a game so many times just means that they're trying to make sure that this shit is flawless, and hopefully that it is when it comes out, and hopefully that the hype for this game doesn't die out, because I know that there are a lot of games out there that have been delayed numerous times, and then when they finally come out, it's sort of like the hype has died down and people aren't really all that interested in it. One game that I can think of is like The Last Guardian. Like, that game went through so much shit, and then when it finally came out, not a lot of people were really talking about it, in my opinion.
It wasn't very good.
Yeah, and also like it wasn't all that great either. But that's one game, for example. I think like Crackdown 3 was another game.
Yeah, Crackdown 3 got delayed so many fucking times. Yeah.
Yeah, by the time it came out, people were like, wait, that game actually came out? So, hopefully that this is the last delay that we get. I might be eating my words by next year, but who the fuck knows? So hopefully that this is the last delay that we get, because, a Suicide Squad game can only be hyped for so long, especially after the James Gunn movie came out like a couple months ago. By the time we get to next year, hopefully that people are still looking forward to this, because I'm still looking forward to it. But I might be eating those words when I hit next year, like I said earlier.
Yeah, I mean, from the gameplay they showed, it looked good. Like, I was like, oh yeah, this actually looks really fun and stuff. So I kind of, I mean, it's good that games get delayed. I mean, I think I also talked about this before in this podcast, but like, I think a few delays are fine, like 1 or 2. Like, I think that's pretty expected from a lot of games nowadays, or any media, like movies as well. But when you start going to like more and more delays, it kind of just spells kind of like troubled development to me, and it kind of like negates that, because I've read like a lot of reports that I think more than like 2 delays usually equals even more crunch than usual, because they want to get this shit out, but they just can't get something to work. So yeah, that's not good. So hopefully they actually have a good vision for this game, because I know it's supposed to be like this 4-player thing or something. Like, it's supposed to like be a cooperative thing and stuff, and hopefully it's not like too much of like a looty type thing, or like a live servicey type thing. I don't think it is, but if they can't get the systems to work, then yeah, that's obviously like a bad sign. But hopefully it turns out good. I never played the Arkham games. I really should, though. But just from the gameplay they shown from us, from like I think last year at this point, it looked pretty good. Like, I think like obviously the game looks beautiful, and like I think the gameplay looks pretty fun. Like, you have all the different classes and stuff with the different heroes you could play as, and yeah, it looks like it could be a fun time. So hopefully they could figure it out. I feel like it shouldn't be that hard of a game to make. Like, it seems like a 4-player sort of like just like mission based thing. Like, it shouldn't be that hard in my eyes, but maybe it is. Maybe there's some like really like something in the core mechanics that just isn't working out, but hopefully they can figure it out, because that's basically a whole year delay, right? Like, that's a long ass delay, so they definitely something was wrong here. So, but hopefully they're just polishing it and make it as best as it could be, and it comes out good. So yeah. All right, so I guess it's just the topic of right now is more crunch and lawsuits and stuff. So yeah, there's been another new Activision Blizzard lawsuit. Obviously, Blizzard has been bought by Microsoft now. So, but this is still under the old leadership that this is directed towards. But yeah, basically, it's another example of their frat boy culture. Basically, this woman, Jane Doe, didn't give her full name, obviously, or like her whole name. Basically just said there was a lot of like disgusting behavior going on. For instance, she had like an initiation lunch where they, make her drink a lot and basically want her to like be drunk around all these guys. They made her play like Jackbox, I think, and made her like answer a bunch of weird sexual questions and stuff, just very uncomfortable things around. Obviously, this isn't the first thing we've heard about Blizzard, far from it. But it just really does add to the growing list of garbage that these, higher ups have been putting their employees through, especially female employees. And yeah, I mean, there's not more to say besides like, I think Travis and I have said it before, like, just destroy all these leadership, like just burn it to the ground at this point, which honestly I think might happen with Microsoft buying out Activision Blizzard. I really do think they're going to clean house with a lot of the higher ups and replace them with more Microsoft employees. Because, I heard a lot of people that are bought from Microsoft said, the environment's definitely improved and stuff. So hopefully this could happen to Activision Blizzard, because these poor employees have been through like so much over the last few years that, or probably forever. We don't really know how long this has been going on for. So hopefully this big change up in leadership that will be coming with the once the buyout is official, we could just see like them clean house like officially, because I think this behavior has been going on way too long and it's obviously really disgusting. So it's gonna be nice for like these these Blizzard and Activision employees to finally get some good leadership and they could just make video games. Like, that's what they signed up for. They shouldn't have to deal with like all this disgusting stuff.
Yeah, and no one should have to fucking deal with this shit. I mean, like, people deal with this shit and just, like, games in general. I mean, like, the fucking misogyny and the disgusting behavior that some guys do online and, like, these fucking free-to-play games. Like, Valorant especially. Like, I play Valorant and, like, the shit that I hear that, like, fucking guys say to girls, I'm just like, bro, what the fuck's wrong with you? And also, some of them are just fucking outright creepy and just weird. Yeah. But, like, besides the point, Jane Doe, she is a current employee, which is why she kept her name anonymous for this sort of lawsuit. And Yeah, I mean, like, just reading this shit, you know, again, with the whole, like, initiation lunch and, like, the alcohol and, like, the sort of, like, excuse of, like, her leadership being nice and trying to be friends with her. I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit, man? Like, this shit is so weird. Like, in any other work environment, in any other industry, this shit would not fly, like, whatsoever. So, like you said, with Microsoft buying up Activision Blizzard, at this point, just fucking burn it to the ground. Just, you know, fuck it, whatever. Just, like, destroy it at this point. Like, there's no reason to have this company stand afloat, in my opinion, just because of how fucked up, like, just like the environment. And like with all of these news stories about Activision Blizzard, it's very hard to get new people to sign up for your company when literally everything in the news is about sexual harassment and like all of this like misconduct and shit. How are you gonna be able to attract new employees when like this is all that they see in the news, sort of thing? You know? So
I mean, that's kind of why. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No. Go on.
I was gonna say that's kind of why Blizzard showed that they were making like this new big survival game IP and saying like we need employees because there's so many of them left. You know, we've already heard that so many of the higher ups in Blizzard. I mean, basically no one at the original Blizzard works there anymore to begin with. But you know, now with all this talent leaving from all the sexual harassment or people just don't want to deal with it, crunch and stuff, that it makes sense that Blizzard was like, okay, we're just gonna put this new game IP up. If anyone's interested, just call us, please. So it's really their own fault too from all this horrible stuff that's been going on. And yeah, I just hope under the leadership of Microsoft and like Phil Spencer and stuff that things could hopefully be better. And like we talked about when Microsoft bought Blizzard and Activision, obviously it's like bad to have like this sort of monopoly and like a big third party is gone and stuff. But I felt like Activision Blizzard would never got better if it wasn't for something big like this. You know what I mean? Like, so I think this is one of the few cases where I do believe that this was a right move. Obviously, like capitalism and all that stuff. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, I think a lot of these employees will have a better work environment due to this. Because I didn't really see their leadership changing if it wasn't for a big buyout like that. So yeah, I think in the long run, it's gonna be a good thing.
Yeah, I find it hilarious that Phil Spencer was like, we are reassessing our relationship with Activision Blizzard, and then they just outright just bought them.
They just bought them.
Yeah. And like it is a bit ironic that it is the fucking Call of Duty developer that's having all of this sexual misconduct and all of this fucking misogyny shit going on. But
yeah.
Anyways, it sucks that this shit's happening. We just have to let people know within the space and our viewers to know that, hey, this shit's still going on. So, think twice before you buy that new Call of Duty or whatever other Blizzard product. Because, personally, it's been a few years since I've actually given them my money. I think the last thing I bought was Overwatch. And,
yeah, same.
I bought that because all of my other friends were playing it. So I was like, fuck it, why not? This is sort of like the big new sort of multiplayer game that everyone was trying to play. And, a lot of League players switched over to it for a short while, and then they went back to League because they're fucking addicts, and Overwatch wasn't able to sustain their need in terms of like a multiplayer sort of game. But it is what it is. Hopefully that Activision Blizzard will get better in whatever way that Microsoft deems fit once that buyout fully goes through. But I would not be surprised to see more lawsuits and sort of more news stories surrounding Activision Blizzard to come out within the next few months. If as sad as that sounds, like that's just the fucking reality of things. And
yeah, so like I said, hopefully it just gets better for all these people. So we can just all play video games. They can make video games. We can all have a good time.
All right, so let's get into our recent activities. I'll go first, actually, because you were talking a bit. So the only game I've been playing is, weirdly enough, fucking Fortnite. Yeah. So the reason why I was playing Fortnite was because there's no building. And when I told that to my girlfriend, she was like, I want to play. I was like, fuck it, why not? So it hasn't crashed on me yet, so thank God. But yeah, it is actually really fun playing Fortnite without building. I'm not sure if it's because we're still in like lobbies with like fucking mobile players and shit like that, but it's really fun. So like to replace the building, they added like this like sprint feature. So obviously like there was like walking versus running, but now there's like when you hit shift, you actually like do like a really fast sprint, and if you go up and if you like hit a building, you will actually climb up that building. So that's how you'll sort of get up to those higher places instead of building and stuff. It is kind of weird because I'm still like hitting mats and shit, and I'm just like, yo, what the fuck's going on? Oh wait, I can't build. I forgot. But yeah, it's Fortnite without building. So if that sounds attractive to you, definitely play Fortnite now, because I'm not sure how long they're going to keep this up, because obviously the main attraction of Fortnite is the building. So we don't know how long this is going to be, because this is probably just like an early season thing to like get people in and like get the battle pass. And like, I'm guilty. I bought the battle pass because I was like, fuck it, why not? Let me go and get these free cosmetics that I already have V-Bucks in my account for. So I was like, whatever. But yeah, Fortnite, it's fun without the building. Whether or not they decide to keep this as like a separate mode, or if they, bring back building later on, I'm all for it. I don't really care. But yeah, Fortnite's fun. I will say that. So now I got a whole bunch of anime. I will not spoil anything, so just keep that in mind when I talk about these things. So Jujutsu Kaisen 0, the movie is in theaters, and I watched it in theaters. It's super fun. I think as a prequel movie, it does show some like world building for the Jujutsu Kaisen world, but I don't think it's necessary because of the origins of the original manga, because like this was Jujutsu Kaisen before Jujutsu Kaisen was even a thing, and then like he later retconned it and made this a Jujutsu Kaisen 0, so to speak. So the way that Mappa animated this movie, fucking fantastic. Like a lot of the filler for this movie, because it's literally based on 4 chapters of a manga. So how the fuck are they going to make that into like an hour and a half movie? They got to add some filler in there. So they add like certain scenes and certain fight scenes, and like the filler fight scenes, oh my God, Mappa. They fucking popped off for like no reason whatsoever, bro. They literally popped off for no reason. I'm like, yo, this shit kind of nice. And like one of the fight scenes involves Gojo, obviously. So like the theater was obviously like getting hyped for it. They're like, oh shit, like it was obviously like very, very fun watching this movie with an audience, because I think the audience that I had in particular was a bunch of like normies. So like there was like a particular scene at the end that, I think normies would be like, hey, yo, like what the fuck? And I think literally someone in our crowd said, yo, what the fuck? Because like it was just like so weird and so random, and I was just like, yep, that happened. But yeah, I mean, like overall, like if you love Jujutsu Kaisen, you probably already saw this movie. But if you're like a fan of Jujutsu Kaisen like myself, like I'm not like too big on it, and I think Damian might feel the same way about
I like
JJK.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah. So like, you're not like a super fan of it, but you like it, obviously.
Yeah, I liked it a lot, yeah.
You can see it in theaters if you want, but you can obviously skip it because it's not necessary for the story going forward. As of right now, I think that they might bring in some characters from this prequel movie later on, but I think right now you can wait. They might chop this up into like, just like with fucking Demon Slayer Mega Trade, they might chop it up into like an anime sort of season, if you will. So that'll probably happen before season 2 comes out. So you could probably just wait till then, and it'll be on Crunchyroll or whatever. But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen 0, it's good. I liked it. I don't think it's a sort of like end all be all sort of like anime movie. It's definitely a lot better than the fucking My Hero movies, I will say that. So just because it was like animated beautifully, and like the filler and the sort of like anime nonsense that goes on isn't like too far out there. But yeah, very, very enjoyable. Then I finally caught up with Attack on Titan final season. I've been behind for like so long, but I saw some things on Twitter that were trending, and people were posting clips, and I was like, fuck, I can't watch this clip. I have to like scroll up really fucking fast so like I don't read or see anything. So I'm now all caught up, and it's fucking hype. That's all I can really say. Like, Damian, get caught up. That's all I can say.
I really need to get caught up. I know. I've been slacking. There's been so many video games. I will, though. I will.
Moving on. My Dress Up Darling. There's one episode left for this season, and in the English manga of the release, they've only got up to like volume 4, and like the anime has gone past that. So like it's actually like kind of fun watching the anime for me, because like I don't know what the fuck's gonna go on now. So watching it, and I'm sure the final episode is gonna be fucking great. But like My Dress Up Darling, like if you love fucking slice of life romance comedy shit, this is fucking it. Like this is this is such a good show. Obviously, like there's like a lot of like fan service shit that is going on.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that. I'm like, ooh boy.
But it's very fucking good. I will say that like if you want like a best girl anime, this is fucking it. Fucking Marin, hopefully I'm saying her name right.
Marin?
Yeah, Marin. She's fucking great. Like she is so much fun, and like the way you get to learn about her character and like who she is like as a person is just so much fun. And also like Gojo, like as sort of like her like sort of like romance partner, if you will. Like it's so fucking cute. Just seeing them two hang out and be friends and shit like that is is so much fun. So My Dress Up Darling, it's about to end. So like, if you haven't watched it yet, fucking watch it now because it's really really good.
I need to watch it honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. So when school ends, Damian, just fucking binge it. You will enjoy it. I'm pretty sure. Like,
yeah, you know what? I like after watching. I still watched season 2 of the quintuplets, but I really enjoyed Rent a Girlfriend. Obviously, I know some of the later things get a little weird, but I actually do enjoy these animes a lot more than I like to admit. So yeah, I probably will enjoy this a lot.
Hey, look, I think Rent a Girlfriend season 2 is gonna be really really good. It's not gonna touch on the sort of like weird shit that's been going on recently, which has honestly turned the fan base against on itself, where they're like, I fucking hate this show, but I'm like, you're probably still gonna read it every week, right? Like, no fucking shot. But
yeah.
Anyways, Takagi-san season 3. They're doing a lot of different things from the manga, just because like the manga is just like a sort of like Saturday morning chapter where it's like Takagi-san does this thing and Nishikata's trying to win in like this challenge that they like did or whatever. But like the anime is actually like bringing their relationship forward, and like it's very cute and very very wholesome. And the last episode of season 3, I mean, like the setup that they did, I'm like, shit, what the fuck's gonna happen? So if it's spicy, like I'll talk about it briefly, but I probably will not talk about season 3 again. But I'm very much very very happy with Takagi-san, and there's gonna be a movie. So like I don't know how that movie is gonna sort of play out or how well that's gonna do, but if it comes to the US, I'm a fucking buy a ticket, plant my seat in that theater and watch that movie. But now we got some manga, so please put them on me. Takamine-san, don't look this up. This shit is definitely not safe for work. Like 100%.
Looking it up.
Okay. Well, I bought this at Barnes & Noble like maybe a year ago, but I just recently decided to like open it and like sort of read it. This shit is fucking sealed wrap, and I'm like, why is that? Bro, in like the first chapter, there's just full on tits, and I'm like, oh okay. Yeah, and like that happens like throughout the manga, and I'm like, okay, I'm not used to reading shit like this, so I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But it is interesting. So it's pretty much about this girl, Takamine-san, and she is like the perfect like straight A student. But the reason she is that is because when she makes a mistake, if she takes off her panties, she rewinds time and she's able to redo it again.
I do know. They said, didn't they mention this in Trash Taste?
Yeah. So like Joey's like, bro, this shit's mad good, and I'm like, it is mad good. I can't co-sign that. Yeah. So like they mentioned this before on like one of their live streams, I believe. Yeah. Where like they were going through what's it called? Their fucking sponsor, the sort of like best manga. Yeah, Bookwalker. They were going through like some sort of like Bookwalker thing, and they were like, yeah, like this is really good, and it is very very interesting. I haven't picked up volume 2 yet because I'm not trying to go back to Barnes & Noble and buy that shit in person now that I know what the fuck it's about. But I will buy it on Right Stuff. One of these days now, I'll read volume 2. But yeah, after the first volume or the first chapter, the lewd stuff doesn't happen as much. Obviously, like she's fucking like taking off her panties and shit. So like, that shit's gonna happen like every fucking chapter because she's gonna rewind time. And the reason why our like main protagonist can like see her like rewind time and like remember everything that happens between before she takes off her panties and shit is because like she saw her naked. So like it's weird. Obviously, like this is very much like fucking anime manga shit. Yeah. But it's good. I'm gonna be honest. Like it is kind of fun to read. So I'll read volume 2 when I get it one of these days. Zom 100 volume 4 I finally read up on. This is I guess a seinen. I can't really say a shonen because it's very bloody and like sometimes there's fucking tits and shit like that. But it's pretty much about this guy who's going through the zombie apocalypse, and he worked this 9-to-5 job like day in day out, and zombie apocalypse hits, and now he's fucking free of that shit. So now he's able to do like his 100 bucket list of things that he wants to do before he dies in the zombie apocalyptic thing. And it's fun. It's very interesting. Obviously, like the sort of like zombie stuff is like sort of pushed to the side, which is when a lot of I guess like zombie shows are good, is when it's focused on the characters. And like the characters, they're goofy, they're funny, but like there is heart to them and they all have like a sort of story. But yeah, it's fun. I am enjoying it. I think that this would work really well as an anime, so maybe one of these days it'll get a anime adaptation, but who knows. Horimiya manga. I've been reading more of that just because I have pretty much all of them in English. So I'm just like, I should probably just read them. So I read that before I go to bed because I'm not reading like fucking like Chainsaw Man before I go to bed with all the fucking blood and gore and shit. But, reading some slice of life here and there is very much, easy on the mind, I guess. And then last thing I've been reading is when will Ayumu make his move? This is made by the same person that writes and does Takagi-san. So it's pretty much the same thing, but reverse, and they're high schoolers, and on top of that the girl really gets teased more than the guy. So pretty much Ayumu just like says like random ass comments about like her being cute and like we should go on a date and stuff, but like not really like thinking about it, and she like gets flustered and things like that. So shenanigans happen. It's fun. I enjoy it. That's obviously like my kind of sort of like slice of life shit that I've been reading, but that's everything. So Damian, what have you been doing?
All right, so I beat it Horizon Forbidden West. So this was a huge ass game. This took me like 66 hours. So this was like a long ass fucking game. It does feel good to be done with it, just because I could like play some other things. Like there's already like a lot of things coming out already that I want to play, and I could finally catch up on anime, because this has kind of been like the main thing I've been focusing on if I'm not like doing a bunch of schoolwork, which I've been kind of busy with. But anyway, yeah, Horizon it was really good. Like everything I said about the first week I played it basically still stands. The game looks fantastic. A lot of the side activities were really fun, and I still stand by that most of them are worth doing. Really, the only copy and paste like activity in the game is the bandit camps. They really got stale towards the end. There's not too many of them after like the halfway point, but I feel like there's like the middle area that has way too many of them. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of over it. But all the side quests. A lot of the other activities I think are definitely worth doing. They're really fun. Just a lot of like cool little jumping puzzles and stuff, and just regular puzzles. So really tricky ones as well. Like there's a lot of things that actually made me think outside the box and stuff. And I really did enjoy those little puzzle segments as well. The combat still fantastic. I do think they nerfed Aloy a little too much in this game just to make her like stronger. It's weird because in the first game, a lot of your abilities you can just do whenever you want. In this game, they're tied to sort of like a stamina bar, and I feel like some moves like you're able to like put in like when you're like I guess like pulling back your arrow, you could put like 2 more arrows in there to do like more damage. In this game, it takes like energy to do that, and I don't really know why. That was like a basic ability in the first game. I just feel like that's like a unnecessary nerf to her for like no reason, but whatever. There's a lot of cooler new abilities and stuff. Like you have like explosive arrows, which I just use the whole time because just like murder things. But yeah, besides that, I think all the content in the game was definitely worth doing. I really enjoyed a lot of the little side stories and stuff. You get like a little hub town towards the middle of the game, or unless I guess a little before the middle. They can interact with all your companions and stuff, and they all have a little companion quest you could do with them. It kind of reminded me of Mass Effect 2 actually, where everyone's in like this one location. You could talk to them after every mission. You can help them out with their own personal stuff. I always really like that in games. I love that in Mass Effect. I love that in like Persona and stuff. Like it's always something I really enjoy doing because it makes you more connected to your companions and you actually like give a shit about them and stuff. And I'm always down with like having good characters and stuff, which I think this game does a lot better than the first game. With the first game, like I barely remembered any of the side characters, only like 2 of them. In this game, I think they did a way better job with that, along with the main story. And speaking of which, the main story was like really good. I don't think it was as good as the first game because the first game was like, I don't think you could like really do that huge surprises again, where it's like, holy shit, what? I thought that stuff was really good. In this game, it does get really sci-fi, which might turn some people off. I personally really liked it, and honestly, it's barely sci-fi anymore. Like this shit's actually happening in real life at this point with some things we've been seeing. I'm just gonna say Jeff Bezos going to space is basically the plot of this, and like honestly, it's not even that far from the truth anymore. So yeah, I thought the plot was really cool, and it definitely set up for a third game. That seems to be like the end of this trilogy. Like I don't really see what else they could go from there. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I think the way Horizon builds its story, on the past and the present has been like really excellent for both games. Just the acting has gotten a lot better as well. Like I think the motion capture is like way better in this game. Like in the first game, you would talk to someone, and it felt so like uncanny valley. It was just like stare into your soul, and it is definitely like weird looking. Basically every time you talk to someone now, they're like moving around, they're like looking at you and stuff. Like it definitely feels a lot better, the presentation and just the story beats as well. The main missions were all fantastic as well. Honestly, just a really great game. I think it was a great sequel. I know some people have some issues of it being kind of like the same But I don't really think that's an issue. Like maybe the third game they can mix it up a little bit more, maybe have some like different things going on. But for the most part, I think the game is still really good. Obviously, it got really overshadowed by Elden Ring, which came out like a week after. And, that game really, changed up how open world games are forever and whatever. But if you're just looking for this nice, comfy game, or if you just like the original Horizon, then definitely give this one a try. It's really good. Honestly, I would just recommend playing the first Horizon before this one if you want to understand the story, because the game has like a small little recap in the beginning, but you really have to understand what's going on if you want to play this game. But yeah, definitely really good game. And I can't wait for the third one whenever that comes out. And that's kind of the main thing I've been doing, but I also picked up Persona 4 Ultimax. This is actually a re-release, which came out on PS3 first, the first Arena, and Ultimax also came out on PS3 as well. And I actually have them on PlayStation 3, but I never really played them too much. Only played a little bit of them. But they re-released them on PS4 and I guess PS5 now. For like Persona's 25th anniversary, and I thought it was time to actually play them, and yeah, it's really good. I actually really like Arc System Works a lot now. I played Dragon Ball Fighters, I played Blaze Blue Cross Tag and Guilty Gear Strive. I really enjoyed those games, and now I have like I guess a more of appreciation for fighting games than I used to back then. I ended up really enjoying the combat, and I just like fighting mechanics in this game. You can basically think of it as like a normal tag team fighter, except you don't have another player character. You have your persona, so you could like do your light combo attacks or your heavy attacks, and then you can summon your persona anytime you want. So you could it's basically the same exact thing as summoning an assist in any other game, except you could do more with your persona than you could with like an assist, I guess, because it's like that character still. And I think that sort of combat is like really fun. Like you do a bunch of crazy stuff. I think you have your normal Arc System work things, like your bursts to like get out of a combo and all that crazy stuff. You have your meters and stuff. But each character does feel very different. Like, I guess she's like a robot like lady. She has like a sort of like a power up mode, and once you activate that, she can like activate a bunch of rocket launchers and like fire cartwheels and shit. Like it's a lot of fun. Like I think each character feels very different from each other. There's another character, Junpei, who has like this weird baseball mechanic. Like you can like hit home runs or some shit. I have no idea how that works, but it's pretty cool. All the characters feel very distinct, and each one has like a shadow form of themselves, which have like different moves and stuff too. So there's like I forget how many characters there are. I think like 20, but you could like double that based on their shadow form. So that's really cool as well. And the single player, I'm playing through the story mode because it's a Persona game. I kind of want to do that. Mm-hmm. But I think there's like a bunch of single player content. Obviously, you have your story mode, which is basically just a visual novel. Like there's some fights, but you're mostly there just to read it or like listen to the character dialogue and stuff. And right now, it's actually pretty good. I actually been enjoying it more than I thought I would from like a fighting game story. But there's also some other, single player offerings. There's the arcade mode, which is basically like the single player story mode, but like on crack. Like you go through your like 8 fights, and they have some dialogue and stuff, and then you fight, obviously, like any other arcade mode. Score Attack, which is basically the same thing, just with like no dialogue. And then you have this really cool mode called like the Golden Arena mode, which is like you select like a quote unquote dungeon, and you go through like 50 floors of fights or something, and you like level up. You can have like a social link, like in the base games, where you could like level up the social link and get like different abilities and stuff. Every time you win a fight, you level up. You could put stuff into your attribute points. You get items. It's really cool. I actually really like it a lot. And I'm a big fan of fighting games that have some good amount of single player content. Just to one, I'm bad, and I like to just like play the game. And 2, it's just something to do as well. Like maybe you don't want to get so sweaty and online or anything. So, you could just, play some of these single player offerings. And I think that's always important for fighting games. I think actually Soul Calibur 5 had some really good single player stuff. And that's kind of what I mostly did in that game. I really like Guilty Gear and stuff, but I feel like that game barely had any single player offerings. So you kind of just had to play online. So yeah, it's always nice to have some like sort of single player offerings, at least for me anyway. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's only like $30 too, so like it's really cheap as just like a normal like just little remaster thing they did. So yeah, definitely enjoying it. Gonna beat the story mode at some point, and then I could I guess talk more about it. Kirby hasn't come in yet, so I can't really talk about that. I just started playing the new Borderlands game too. It's really good, but I haven't really played enough of it to really like say anything about it yet. So yeah, that's kind of all I've been doing.
All right, so last part of the show, we're going to discuss the Batman. So it's been a while since I've seen it, but Damian saw it a little more recently than I have. Week. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want to be spoiled, don't listen to what we're about to say. It will be on HBO Max soon. I'm not exactly sure when, but it will be on that service soon. Or, you can do some Googling and maybe you'll find it on there. But anyways, we're gonna talk about the Batman in full spoilers. So, yeah, I mean, this is a really really good fucking like superhero movie. Like just like in general, like I think that the way that they brought this new iteration of Batman with Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves' vision was very very good. I think the opening scene with the Riddler, so just chilling.
Yeah.
was kind of like setting up the tone for this movie, and I'm like, oh shit, like he's just right there, and then he just fucking kills the guy. And Batman at the beginning of the movie, him being like, I am vengeance, and then by the end of it, he's sort of seen as like a symbol of hope in a sense. So I really like that arc in and of itself. They very much established that this is a very early version of Batman. He's like a year or two into his career. So, seeing him, still trying to figure out who he wants to be for the city of Gotham and shit like that was very, very fun. And Robert Pattinson, like as an actor, was very, very good in this role, just being this very broody Bruce Wayne, just trying to, save Gotham City and, be the emo boy that he is. But what do you think of the movie?
I basically agree with everything he said. Like, I thought Robert Pattinson was a good Batman. I don't know if I'm too convinced of his Bruce Wayne. I mean, it's a very different take on Bruce Wayne. But like you said, he's very broody and not really like what you expect Bruce Wayne to be. I kind of, Bruce Wayne's kind of like this like playboy, like millionaire guy. Like, yeah, he's a little more, like he wants to do good for Gotham and stuff, but I didn't really see that Bruce Wayne in this one. It's okay to have different visions for the character. I just thought like that was kind of like he doesn't strike me as a Bruce Wayne like man, because he's a very edgy, broody, like almost like teenager type deal when he's Bruce Wayne. But as Batman, I thought he was really good. He doesn't have the stupid like where's the trigger, like anything. Like he still talks like like this. He still had like a little bit of a Batman voice type deal going on. But like I thought he was really good as Batman, and just making him like really threatening, like anytime they see the bat signal or whatever, like they shit their pants on like everyone. I thought that's really cool. It really conveys how much of a boogeyman he is to like all these like thugs and stuff. Like I thought that was really cool. And the Riddler I thought was fantastic. We'll get more into him later, but I thought he was really good. Like I think they did a good job sort of like doing that whole like basically like Saw type deal going on, and like just like as a really creepy serial killer. Like I thought it was really cool, because the Riddler's always been really cheesy to me. Like it's over to me, this Batman and all that shit. But I think as like basically like a origami killer type deal going on, like I thought that was really cool. And I really just enjoyed the whole, I guess, like mystery detective like angle of this movie a lot. I think a lot of people forget like like Batman's like kind of like a detective and shit. And I felt like the Christopher Nolan movies didn't really like get into that as much, like at all, in my opinion anyway. And I think this movie really brought that into the movie, and I think it was really appreciated. Like I was really into like the whole like what's going on angle and stuff, and it really added a lot to the movie in my opinion. So.
Yeah, and I think bringing in the Riddler to bring in that aspect of Batman out to make him, be this like detective person, and him try to solve these riddles and shit like that. And like when this movie was funny, it was very subtle, which I can very much appreciate after the amount of just like MCU humor and shit like that. But with this movie's humor, it was very subtle. It was very much like thumb drive. I was like, this motherfucker. Yeah. God damn it.
The humor was actually like really good. Like it was really like I guess just dry humor, but like it really made me laugh. Just also when he was like in Catwoman's things, like that's a lot of cats or something. I'm just like, okay. it's just like I'm like, all right. Yeah, I actually really did enjoy the humor. I think they knew where to put it and not to like, make it like MCU where it's like a really dramatic thing happened and they have to be like, let's joke about it. Like I think this is like they really put the humor in the right places, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, and like the relationship that Batman has with the police, that was very interesting as well to see, because I think within the Nolan films, it's been a while since I watched them, so bear with me if I get the shit wrong, but I feel like that they weren't as against Batman as they were within this movie. Like, that one guy's like, hey, we're just gonna let him through and shit like that, and Gordon's like, I trust him, come on, bro, like he's a homie sort of thing, like and like he's like the only one on this sort of squad that really trusts Batman, and obviously it's fucking Gordon, so he is going to trust him, but just seeing the other cops be very wary of him because he is this mass vigilante, and they know about the shit that he does to bad guys and shit like that. So yeah, I really really did like that aspect of him, and sort of I guess like the politics that they brought in to this movie, when Catwoman mentioned the sort of like white people and their privilege and shit like that. I was like, that was very much needed to say. And there were obviously there's one guy on fucking YouTube that like he's just being blatantly racist with like just saying like, yeah, like there's only like a few white people in this movie. I'm like, bro, can you like tiptoe around it like even worse, bro? Like, come on. But I think like the other politics of just like the Riddler and sort of like his sort of like angle with like his sort of like I guess sort of his like fandom of people that are just like fucking crazy, and like the whole like fucking like shootout that happened like at the end. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, they're actually doing this shit, which is kind of yeah, like that's kind of fucking crazy that they did that in the movie, especially since because like when the Joker movie came out with Joaquin Phoenix, people thought that shit was gonna happen with that movie, but like this movie literally has a scene in there with like a literal mass shooting, and like that's fucking crazy to me, but it was done well where like it made sense for this character and this sort of iteration of Batman and the Riddler, that it was all leading up to that point with like, these fucking crazies online, following the Riddler, believing in his movement and shit like that. So
yeah, it basically did the same thing Joker did, where, Joker sort of made like like the Joaquin Phoenix and stuff, not like this Joker, but he basically did the same thing where it's like, okay, like, he said a bunch of things with what's wrong with Gotham and like with the rich and stuff, and basically Riddler did the same thing, and they both got like a like an army of people that would believe the same thing, just cause a riot. Well, and Joker was a riot, and this one was like basically like a mass shooting. And I think that's fair. I think that's like a good like sort of like I guess theme with this, like with Gotham anyway. I think Riddler does make some good points with the whole like, no one cared about like any of the other orphans but like Bruce Wayne, because he was Bruce Wayne and he was like a millionaire. So poor Bruce Wayne is like a orphan now, but he still has like a shit ton of money. Not saying like he's not feeling any pain either, but it also sucks for like all the other people that basically got no attention because they're not like millionaires when they really should have gotten more attention because they have no money and stuff. Like I thought that was a pretty interesting thing with the whole rich versus poor thing that that seems like a good theme. I think that's the thing Batman, or I guess Bruce Wayne, struggles with also, because he wants to do well for the city, but he knows he has a he has an unfair advantage being really fucking rich. So yeah, I thought the Riddler, obviously he's a psychopath, but like I thought that was a good point, obviously. But I do feel like the finale was it was good, but I did feel like like the Reddit army just having like all their guns and stuff out there. I'm like, god damn, they got strapped again. So yeah,
in New York, I mean, Gotham, I was like, shit.
Yeah, I'm like, god damn, okay.
Yeah, nah, that shit was crazy to me, because I'm like, yo, like this scene's about to hit because of like the action, but I'm like, yo, no way they're about to do this mass shooting right now. Like, what the fuck? Like that shit threw me out, because I was like, no way they actually like did this. But moving on from there, I think Catwoman as sort of like a companion character to Batman was very interesting, and how her whole story played out with the sort of connection to Cobblepot and all of that other shit. I think that was very interesting, and like the way that like she gets introduced as sort of like Penguin's like I guess waitress or some shit. I don't know what the fuck that thing was going on there, but when Batman eventually figures it all out and sort of gets to know her a little bit deeper, and sort of gets to see what's going on with her and sort of her story, that was very cool to watch, because I think that her as a character alongside with Batman, especially this early on within his career, was pivotal for him to sort of figure out what he really wants in life, I guess, because like he's very much like, life sucks, I gotta save the city sort of thing, and like here comes Catwoman, and he's like, shit, I'm fucking down bad, but he's like, I gotta save Gotham, babe, I'm sorry,
Yeah, I thought it was a good thing. Like, obviously Gotham sucks, and
oh yeah,
she's just like, yeah, I'm not dealing with this anymore, which is totally fair. And she doesn't really have any like no reason to stay. But yeah, Batman is obviously like very loyal to Gotham, and I mean his whole reason of being Batman is just to make Gotham a better place and stuff. And I think them saying goodbye actually was like, it was nice. Like, I thought she they both like ended up really liking each other and stuff, and I just enjoyed her in the movie in general. It's kind of obviously I hope she comes back, but there's like a sequel, because I do like her. But yeah, it was a nice little scene to show that he does like care about people and stuff. It was really sweet. Honestly, I got that more out of those two than I did with Alfred. Like him like blowing up. Like I felt like we didn't have enough time with both of them together for me to care that much. Like, obviously he helped him with decoding some of the Riddler stuff, and that was cool. But I feel like we needed like another scene with him and Alfred for me to like care, because like when he like blew up, I mean, he was still fine, but I feel like it didn't like hit me as hard as I probably should have, I guess. Like I don't know, I think we just didn't have enough time with both of them together, you know.
Yeah, I think maybe if they did one more scene with them, maybe it was cut. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
But you know, like one scene with them, like back then before Bruce became Batman, or like as he was becoming Batman, because this Alfred actually trained Bruce to fight. Like he's the reason why he's Batman. That's how he knows how to fight, is with Alfred's help, and that's kind of interesting. But like the whole scene with him like about to get blown up by that package, and the way that they structured it with Bruce calling it, and he's like, he's been in the hospital for a bit. I was like, no way, it already happened. I was like, no.
Yeah, I thought he was lit as shit.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna save him, but you know, he ended up being fine because, you know, they can't kill him off just yet. You know, I thought we were gonna have another you know who situation from No Way Home, but yeah, you know, I think that this iteration of Batman and this iteration of Gotham City, like as a whole, is like very interesting and very, very cool. I mean, like Penguin, you know, that whole fucking car chase scene was fucking
Penguin
awesome.
Was great in this.
Yeah, I mean, like he's a literal fucking comic book character on screen, and like that's where a lot of the humor comes from, is just his performance, and so much so that he's gonna get a sort of like a HBO Max show, so that's gonna be kind of cool to see. But yeah, just like this Gotham and everything that's going on in it, and like when Bruce Wayne is actually out and about, like it's sort of like when fucking like I guess like Jeff Bezos or someone is like out and about, because like, you know, Bruce Wayne for the most part isn't seen in public in this movie, and when he is, it's like, oh shit, that's fucking Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
you know. So like I really like that they emphasize that, because, you know, within previous iterations of Batman, I feel like when Bruce Wayne is like out and about, it's not as like sort of like glamorous and sort of like, oh my god, like he's fucking here sort of thing, you know, because he is a goddamn billionaire. But yeah, I think that what Matt Reeves has done for Batman as a character in this iteration of the character is so cool, and I cannot wait to see what else they decide to do. And my one problem with the movie, if I had a problem with it, was the whole like Joker thing with that one scene. I felt like that could have been saved for the sequel, or maybe didn't even need to be mentioned, because obviously like there's a lot of world building here, and like within those first 2 years as Batman, he already ran into the Joker, which we'll talk about within the deleted scene itself. But you know, I think that that wasn't needed, in my opinion, for like that little scene with him and the Riddler interacting with each other. But other than that, I think that this movie was really good, almost perfect. I mean, like the pacing of it is like spot on. Like there was no point within the movie that I felt like it was dragging on, or like this was like wasted time or shit like that. I felt like that everything was going from point A to point B like very smoothly.
Yeah, I felt so too. Like the movie was 3 hours, but I didn't really feel that. Like I was just like, oh, it's over. I'm like, I was just really into the movie. And yeah, I think everything about the movie was great. I just love the tone of it. I do think the movie was like literally a little too dark sometimes. Like it is very like dark, literally. Like I'm not talking about like tonally. I'm just talking about like just like really dark. It didn't bother me as much as like a lot of other people did, but I could see where they were coming from. Like yeah, it is pretty like hard to see what's going on sometimes. But I should do like just how Gotham looks in this. Like, it looks like shit. Like, you know, it's very gothic as it should be. Like it doesn't look like New. I mean, it has like a Times Square type thing going on, but it's not like too much like that. Like I think there's enough identity to Gotham to really like stand as its own city, and I just really like the set designs and stuff. And you know, just like Riddler himself, I thought was just like fantastic. I really enjoyed him and all his like crazy, horrible like death trap things. I like when the dude's head exploded. I'm like, oh yeah, it's rated like PG-13. Like that's when I expect like a bunch of like blood and guts to come out. I'm like, oh yeah, it's PG-13, which is fine. You don't really feel it at all, really. Like just like with some like violent stuff that you would probably expect from a rated R movie. Like I think it's like tone and stuff still very much like feels like it's good. Like it didn't feel like it was like hampered by its rating or whatever, like as some people thought it would be. But yeah, overall I thought it was fantastic. Like, and I'm really looking forward to seeing if they are going to do a next one, which they probably are. And yeah, same thing with that Joker scene. I do feel like it probably wasn't like needed entirely. I guess it was good to like show that this Batman already like was like doing shit before then, but they already tell you that you don't really need to see Joker. But I guess they felt it was important to show him at the end there. So
yeah, and like One more scene that I really want to talk about real quick is when he does the sort of like wingsuit when he's like running from the cops,
yeah.
and then he's like, ah, shit, I gotta use this, and then like he fucks up at the end. I'm like, that's good, seeing him not actually like land on his feet and still like learning how to use, I guess, like his new tech and shit like that. Like that was very subtle and also like very cool. But also the black makeup, I think that's not really shown within the movies. I know that Christian Bale's Batman, he has that, but like they don't ever show him with it on. Obviously, every single time Robert Pattinson has it on, it's fucking smeared and shit. But at least we know, or like we actually like acknowledge that like he wears black makeup around his eyes to cover himself even more.
At first, I thought like when he first showed himself as Bruce Wayne, I thought his eyes were just like really sunken in or something. I'm like, what's on his face? And I'm like, oh, it's the makeup for his eyes. I'm like, okay, I get it now.
But let's talk about the deleted scene real quick because people were losing their minds yesterday about this.
Yeah.
So good thing we waited to talk about it. But the Joker deleted scene, I mean, like this shit's great, but I know a lot of people pointed out, which I agree with, that it's not really needed because the Joker sort of just like echoes the same ideas and the sort of same philosophy that I think the Riddler already pointed out.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, still, like, it's a good fucking scene. We don't ever see the Joker like fully, which I think is like a nice touch that Matt Reeves decided to do to sort of keep the mystery of like the full identity of Joker. I guess not necessarily a secret, but sort of like keep the viewers like on the edge if we're ever going to see the full face of him, which we don't within this deleted scene itself. But I'm excited to see if we potentially see him within the second or third movie. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, like the Joker is in this version of Batman, and it was played really, really well, and people are, already shitting on Jared Leto and shit like that, and already making comparisons to Heath Ledger. But I mean, like it's kind of hard to not make comparisons to Heath Ledger. I think that this actor in particular, I forget his name exactly, but they were just playing Batman, or they were just playing the Joker. Like obviously like Heath Ledger's Joker is like so legendary, it's so iconic, but this version of the Joker is also very good.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think in terms of the scene itself, like the information you get, it's like, it's not really needed in the movie. So I agree with it being a deleted scene because like we didn't really need this. But just seeing his performance, I thought was really good. Like I think he really sells the whole Joker thing. He's crazy. He's a little cryptic about what he's saying. He's like threatening at the same time. Like, I think he like just from this 5-minute scene, I could already see this being like a good Joker. And not just we can't really see his whole face just yet. But you could tell like he's a pretty like beaten up and shit. Like even when it like zooms in on his mouth, you could sort of like see like all the weird like chemical like scars. Because I don't know, didn't Joker like fall in like a chemical vat or something?
Yeah,
yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool how they sort of play that into his design himself. Because we don't really see that in any other Joker really. He usually has the white makeup and stuff on. Like we don't really see him being too disfigured. So it's cool to see this Joker be a little more like disfigured and stuff. Like I think that really sets him apart from the rest of them. And it's gonna be nice to just have like a good old psycho of a Joker. Like I love Joaquin Phoenix as Joker, but he's definitely was meant to be a little more like empathetic and stuff. Like you're supposed to like feel sorry for him and what he was going through and stuff. It's gonna be nice to have a Joker like Heath Ledger, where he's just kind of like just a psychopath. So that's gonna be nice.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great deleted scene. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot more of those in the Blu-ray set or whatever, because apparently, this movie was going to be over 3 hours long, but they were like,
my lord.
Yeah, nah, we got to cut it under. So, and good thing that they did, just because I know that, because if it was going to be over 3 hours, there would be less space and less theaters for them to like have it playing, and obviously less money for DC and Warner Brothers to really recoup. But obviously, like the movie has done so well at this point. I think it's over 120 mil that they made or some shit, or even more than that. I fucking forget. I saw some number on Twitter and I was like, yep, it's done well. So we're probably gonna see more of this version of Batman, and I cannot wait to see what Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson have in store. Just because this is a great version of the character, and the last solo Batman movie we got was Dark Knight Rises, and like that movie is good. I have my problems with it, but seeing another solo version of Batman and this new iteration of it is very, very exciting.
Yeah, I agree. Like again, I'm not like the biggest Batman nerd or anything, but I definitely enjoyed like most of the movies, and I think this is like a great rendition of Batman. And I really can't wait to see what they did with them. Like, I wonder what, like, it's kind of like where I just gained Joker again. Like, he looks great, but I just really enjoyed like their rendition of Riddler. Like, I thought it was just really good. So, hopefully after Joker, we get like maybe another villain like that hasn't been used before. I think that'd be pretty neat. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, they could just do it as a side villain as well, like Penguin was, because I thought Penguin was great in this movie too. So, I guess we'll see for the next movie.
All right. So is there anything else you'd like to add, good Sa?
No, I think that's everything.
All right. So thank you guys for listening to the Travis and Damian podcast, episode 83. We will see you guys 2 weeks from now with another episode.
Later.